Hey folks, welcome to IGA Tech Dive. I'm Jim Montgomery, the Governance Practice Lead with TriVir, an OpenText partner specializing in advisory and implementation services in the identity and access management realm. Today in the world of identity governance and administration, we will talk about risk scoring. This is how you can use the IG software to quickly identify risky users in your enterprise based on the access that these users hold. Let's get started and look at the business goal. As a CISO, or as a cybersecurity engineer or analyst, or as somebody charged with reducing security risk in your organization, you would use risk scoring to find users who are outliers and determined to be more risky based on their access so that you can focus on securing those users and reducing your security risk. As a reviewer, you could be a system owner or a manager. You would see these risk numbers when you're making choices about access. Risk scoring permeates the IG tool to enhance what you know about a user so that you can make better decisions. Let's look at how you would implement this. With the IG software, you configure an algorithm to calculate a risk number for each user and for each application and for your entire enterprise as a whole. The algorithm uses a number of inputs, and you get to decide how much weight to assign to those inputs to end up with an end score. First, you specify how many risk levels exist inside your organization. I'm a fan of 3 risk levels with 33 points each. Inputs to calculate risk for users can include a number of things. I could start with the risk level of permissions assigned to a user and risk level of accounts that they hold. If your data collectors can generate a risk score for a permission or for an account coming from the app, great. This is where you'd use those numbers. You also have separation of duty violations and how they relate to business roles and how user performed in access reviews, as long as you have a certification policy to cover your review definitions. These inputs, weighted according to what's important to you and your organization, is then used to determine a number. Each user, when this is calculated, will then have a risk number assigned to them. A low number is a low risk, and a high number means you might want to investigate why that user has a high risk number. For applications, it is similar. The algorithm uses information about accounts in the application and SOD violations, information about permissions from the app. It gives you a risk score for every application you're connected to, and this gives your security folks information on what to focus on, which apps are risky in your environment. You can also calculate a number for the entire identity management system, or your IG system, which is your whole enterprise. This gives you a very interesting metric. You would expect your risk to reduce over time as you get a better handle on access. Keep in mind, risk scoring is somewhat arbitrary. One organization's 50 points of risk might be high, and another organization that might be low. Configuring the risk scoring algorithm is an iterative process. As you connect to more applications, you may need to tweak your config so that it provides useful data. And as you add more features to your deployment, such as SOD and business roles and certification policy, you'll want to add more weight to your algorithm to use those bits. How your security force works to respond to risk is up to you. Maybe you open a ticket for risky individuals. Maybe you run a review for anyone above a certain threshold. Reviewers can see the risk number for users in the interface while they're doing things. So leveraging the risk engine can provide a lot of insight to your governance program. Let's look at an example of how you might use this. If we look at identities in our catalog, you can see exactly how the score was calculated. Looking at risk factors, my particular user account here, this test account, has a 305 score, which is way above our total. But you can see all the weighted components and those risk factors that all add up and the calculations that were done to generate this number. Let's summarize. To wrap up, we looked at risk scoring so that you can determine and take action with risky users in your environment. That's all for now. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, you can post them in the OpenText community forum or reach out to me at jmontgomery@trivir.com. Thanks.